Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. A happy and a fabulous Friday to you. I am Anastasia Palacios, and of course, it's a pleasure to be in your company. Today, you might notice that my co host, Mark, who always has all the energy and always says, "Thank you for waking up with us very early on this Friday," is not with us today, but we acknowledge him, we miss him, and we hope that he'll be back with us soon. He, of course, is getting prepared to bring, along with his wife, their twins into the world. So we're very excited for him and just wishing them a safe delivery. We ask that you join us in just well wishes and prayers if you do pray for them so that, all would be well. That is our prayer. Well, we're continuing on with a great show today. As you can see, I am dressed for the royal visit. If you were following online or during the live streams last night, you might have had a lots of entertainment as Bahamians have responded to the royals coming to visit the Bahamas. Now, many years ago, the royals coming was always a big deal, a great feat. But it happened more frequently. We've not seen them visit in many years, certainly not Queen Elizabeth. Prince Harry was here several years ago on tour for another Jubilee experience. And now, of course, we get to meet the Duke and the Duchess of Cambridge. Well, their tour through Belize and Jamaica was not without its challenges. And certainly here in the Bahamas, there seem to be many that feel differently about whether or not they should be here and whether or not our government should be paying for them. In one of our segments today, we will ask Mr. Jack Thompson about the Duke and Duchess, their arrival, their plans, the parts the Bahamians are able to experience, and of course, a very controversial question on whether or not we should be paying for them to be here, given Hurricane Dorian and the fact that there are still some people without homes, and given the fact that many of us are still reeling from a pandemic. I would like to say to you that as a Bahamian, you are very much entitled to your opinion on how our government spends our money. What I would also like to say to you is that we ought to challenge ourselves on what we believe the purpose of any circumstance is. And if a circumstance seems to be beyond our control, how can we ask ourselves, how can we benefit from it? And so some of the commentary that I would wish that you would even just ask yourself, even if you share with no one but a neighbor or a friend, is how can the Bahamas use this visit to its advantage? How can the Bahamas ensure that by these people traveling to Abaco and these people traveling to Grand Bahama, those communities receive more than just a passing through and a note written in a local daily? We have to begin to challenge ourselves when things seem to be outside of our control, even if many of us may feel differently about this visit than positive, with trying to find the positive in the circumstance. Could it be beneficial to our tourism products? Could we make sure that they see and are not just seeing things for photo taking purposes, but are truly engaged in the conversation and the dialogue? Are we making sure that those representing us in these spaces with them are communicating our thoughts, our needs, our desire for partnership moving forward? Because remember now, we are fully independent. And so there is no need for them to necessarily do anything in particular, but to make sure that they are working in partnership with us at a Commonwealth level, understanding our goals as a nation, even in terms of the Millennium Development Goals, right? Where are we seeing the advantage in this visit? It's the only thing I'm encouraging you to ask yourself today, because we can always make good of any circumstance. So just remember that. As I said, we'll be talking with Jack Thompson later today about that visit. And of course, there's many more to come. We'll be talking and hearing about the health services available at Wholistic Lifestyle. We'll find out more about kidney transplants for Kidney Month. And Yvette Andrews-Strachan will join us to give us nutrition tips for Nutrition Month. So it's a full show ahead, a royal one indeed. And we hope that you'll stay with us. Before we get to any of it, we're going to take a first look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, sir, and good morning, Bahamas. First, let me wish my wife a happy birthday. She celebrates her birthday tomorrow. In your first look at weather, we have a cold front, an active one, across Grand Bahama and Bimini this morning. It's moving towards the southeast and should move across the Providence Andros area by afternoon. We do have a pre-frontal activity ahead of the system across the Berry Islands, North Andros, Luther this morning, moving towards the southeast with increasing cloudiness and thunderstorm. Those showers will be heavy at times, those thunderstorms strong to prevail with gusty winds. Today, variable cloudiness with some cloudy periods with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms over the northwest Bahamas, becoming partly sunny and warm over the central and southeastern islands. Your high 84 degrees Fahrenheit. Partly cloudy night and mild with a few showers on northwest Bahamas. You can expect cloudy periods with some scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms over the central Bahamas, below going down to 66 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 85 and 76. In Jamaica 85 and 74. In Trinidad 87 and 78. And the Turks and Caicos Islands 85 and 71. Across North America, Atlanta 60 and 44. In Raleigh 66 and 48. In Miami 77 and 69. Dallas, Texas 76 and 38. And Toronto, Canada 46 and 37. As you go to the weekend, the cool front moves into the central and southeastern islands, but for the most part, high pressure builds across the islands, and so we're looking at a pretty good weekend. So weather-wise, partly sunny skies, mild at daytime, cool at nighttime. And Monday, expect a little warming trend by Tuesday. Low temperature daytime over the weekend will be in the mid-upper 70s daytime and the low to mid-60s at nighttime. That puts you up in your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Graphic Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Well, as you might be aware, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are undertaking an official visit to Belize, Jamaica, and the Bahamas on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen on the occasion of her Platinum Jubilee. Here to tell us more about their visit, we're very happy to welcome Mr. Jack Thompson, who's the Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Governor General, who is joining us today to share on this important information. Good morning, Mr. Thompson, and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Great to be back.
Always a pleasure to have you with us. You are, I guess, one of the icons in our civil service, if I do say so myself, and just a vast knowledge of so many things. And so we're happy that you're here to share with us on this occasion and to let us know more about what is happening with the Duke and the Duchess. When is the visit to the Bahamas?
The Duke, the Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are expected to arrive in the Bahamas on Thursday, the 24th, in the afternoon. They traveled to the Bahamas from Jamaica, which the Bahamas will be the third leg of their Caribbean tour on the occasion of Her Majesty's Platinum Jubilee celebrations.
Okay, all right. So they came in yesterday on Thursday afternoon, and they will be here until Saturday?
Until Saturday, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Saturday after evening, yeah, that's right.
And it's my understanding that, of course, unlike Jamaica and Belize to some extent, we are an archipelagic nation. So it's my understanding that they won't only be visiting us here in Providence, but they'll also be traveling to 2 other islands. What is their tour itinerary?
You're correct. And that is the uniqueness about the Bahamas, in that we're an archipelagic nation. And we have so many unique features. Each island would have had so many. In the case of Abaco, as you are aware, would have experienced the brunt of Hurricane Dorian in September of 2019. And so our organizing committee, along with the recce team from the UK, thought that Abaco should feature on the itinerary. And so they're going to travel to Abaco, where they will visit Daystar Church, one of many churches that would have been adversely impacted as a result of the hurricane. The church is under construction. They are putting the pieces together, as it were. And so they visit there, and they're going to have a sit-down discussion about the hurricane, about the resilience of our people, the strength of our people, and their determination to rebuild. And so that is going to happen at the Daystar Church.
Okay, and then what happens in Grand Bahama?
But before we leave Abaco, then there is the Wall of Remembrance, or what we call the Garden of Remembrance. And so there will be a short, very brief ceremony, and Her Royal Highnesses will lay a wreath there in memory and as a matter of reflection to the lives lost as a result of Dorian.
Okay.
And then from there, they proceed to the fish fry area in Dundas Town, where there are several stalls. And there will be the demonstration of how we do that scorched conch and put that salt and that pepper, and we put that cucumber, and then there's the one with the conch salad.
Yeah.
So they'll do that as
I
well.
hope the royal chef comes as well, so he could take that back home for them, right? And the queen gets to taste it as well. Okay, so that'll all happen in Abaco.
That will all happen in Abaco. And then we're off to Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama is unique in that there's a children's home there in Grand Bahama, all ages, and the Duchess in particular, well, both Duke and Duchess, they're very concerned about children, the ward of the state, and they will pay a call there, and they will look and see where they stay, their school environment. In fact, I even think there may be a little football, little kicker game there. So that is very special, and the children are just so excited. Because oftentimes we tend to think it ought to be about the big city, about the school, what that we know in the ordinary sense.
Right.
But to take time out to visit the children's home is very, very special.
Yes, indeed. All right. And so that will all happen in Grand Bahama. Of course, things will happen here in Nassau as well.
Grand Bahama there's a second activity there, that will be the Call Vita.
Okay.
They will travel to the Call Vita. You know, Call Vita is, they have a lab there with the reef, with the coral reefs, and they have a way of populating that. And so that's the Call Vita. They won a prize which was sponsored by the Duke of Cambridge, about this sort of
The
thing.
work that they do.
The work that they do, the Earthshot Prize,
Excellent. So, you know, from all of this, you know, we see the remembrance in Abaco, this conversation on resilience. We see some food and cultural elements there as well. We see that they'll be embracing the nation's children, and then, of course, talking about, again, almost back to climate change, this development of our coral reef system for a long-term benefit to the Caribbean and the world, hopefully. What do you want the final takeaway to be for the Duke and Duchess, having left the Bahamas when they do go? What is it that the government is hoping that they will see and recognize about us?
The one thing I think they'll take away is the relationship between the Bahamas and the UK and other developed countries. We are a peaceful country. We are a talented people. We are a gracious people. And despite the adversities and the challenges, for example, the Dorians of this world were able to rise above that, and we're able to square our shoulders and move on as a people. We are resourceful people, and I think they will find the uniqueness which will come out of their visit from our people. The Bahamas, I'm often reminded that after Dorian, the UK ship was one of the first here. And so you cannot divorce the fact that building relationships is critical, and maintaining those relationships is for us very important. Through scholarships, we benefit through scholarships, and technical assistance, which is also very, very important.
Now, we do have to go, but before we do so, I must ask, because it's been on the mind of many of our viewers, of course. We see countries like Jamaica taking a stand on not paying for the Duke and Duchess's arrival. We know that there were some challenges in Belize as well with them visiting there. There are some people that think that we might be being too accommodating, that even though there is a great past between us, this is a new era, a new generation. Why are we covering all of the expenses and not taking a stronger stand like Jamaica? Do you have any words on that for us?
Not particularly. I'm a part of the organizing committee. We have decided, the government of the Bahamas would have decided to host the royals, but I try to stay away from that part of it. I mean, you know, that's some other people deal with that.
Right.
I'm just, yes, yeah. I want to organize a wonderful trip.
Yeah.
I want them to say, "Wow, the Bahamas is carrying on.
Yeah.
This is where it's at."
Right.
And the international media. We have at my last count, it was over 45 UK personalities who come here from various media, and it's about 10 to 12 international. I mean, I say international, I'm talking about like Germany and these other countries around the world who will be here, Canada and all the rest of them. So we cannot pay for this kind of exposure if we get it right. You know, I often say we're a wonderful, beautiful country. There's the sun, sand, and sea, but our people is the natural resource. It's the national and natural, but we talk about sun, sand, and sea as natural, but look at us. Our embracing spirit, you know, that's us. That's who we are. And I think this is a wonderful opportunity for us. And I think in years to come, we'll see the benefits of this visit.
Well, we want to thank you so much for joining Mr. Thompson. Congratulations to you and your organization committee for carrying on, even in the midst of noise in the market. Obviously, in a democratic nation, we have the right to voice our opinions, but certainly we trust that our government will do what's in our best interest. And so we congratulate you all and wish the Royals a wonderful stay in the Bahamas. I'm sure they're watching Bahamas at sunrise on the yacht right now, so good morning to the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and to all those visiting with them. Welcome to the best country in the world. The UK can take second in this regard. And we hope that you enjoy the stay. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me an opportunity in this platform to say a few words. Thank
Certainly.
you. Wonderful.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
We believe in relationship banking. We take pride in getting to know our clients. You have access to knowledgeable, approachable ambassadors and financial coaches so that we can recommend the best product for you. At Fidelity, we care about you. From your financial health to your physical health, we can relate to you because we're just like you. Come and start your relationship banking experience with us today. Visit us online at fidelitygroup.com. Visit any of our branches in Nassau or Grand Bahama, or phone 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 for Freeport.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We've been having a wonderful series with the Access Accelerator, featuring their clients' businesses and stories of entrepreneurship, also shedding light on the amazing work of the Access Accelerator itself. And this week, we visited Wholistic Lifestyle, one of their clients. We've got our Suzette Parker with more on this story.
Wholistic Lifestyle is a center promoting wellness and prevention for the healing of the whole person. We spoke with owner Nathelyn Lacroix and her husband Osmond about the business.
At Wholistic Lifestyle, we believe in healing of the entire body, your mind, and spirit. You know, when God made us, He made us physical, emotional, and spiritual beings. And there's certain things that we're doing that cause the body to go out of whack in all those areas. And so you've heard the term, it may sound cliche, prevention is better than cure. And so here at Wholistic Lifestyle, we empower persons on the importance of taking the best care of their bodies possible to prevent getting, chronic ailments, emotional imbalance, keeping that spiritual connection. God made us and He knows what's best for us.
At Wholistic, there are several services that can improve one's health.
Some of the services that we offer, we do something called colon hydrotherapy, colonics, and that's simply cleaning of the colon with warm, purified water. It's like an extended form of an enema. Some persons might be familiar with the red enema bag that is used at home to clear the end of the colon. We have a challenge with persons who are constipated, okay? And constipated means persons who are getting as little as 1 movement per day. The colon is basically 5 feet long by about 2.5 inches wide and has the capacity to fit up to about 40 pounds of fecal matter. It could fit it, but it should not. What we're eating on a daily basis should leave the body in about a day or 2 after, okay? But for a lot of persons that don't happen because of the choice of foods. Our diet is heavy animal protein and also refined carbs. It's like half a plate of animal protein and half a plate of rice or macaroni or whatever. Ideally, we should basically be consuming about half a plate of greens, whether it's cooked or uncooked, quarter plate of protein and quarter plate of starch. The way to get fiber, and that is what's lacking. A lot of persons do not eat enough fibrous foods, and they say to me, Ms. Lacroix, but that's expensive, the fruits and vegetables. So you try and purchase the ones that are affordable. Cabbage is a vegetable that is very much affordable, you know. But persons are making choices based on what they've been eating over the years. They're accustomed to the flavors, so they're basically eating to, you know, accommodate the taste buds. And so they get into trouble. A lot of fecal matter build up in the colon. Some of them end up to the physician with abdominal pain, and the x-ray is just showing the colon bulging with fecal matter. And so some of them are sent here. Others, again, they realize what's happening home, and so they, you know, walk in off the street and we give them a cleaning. With this cleaning, persons release an equivalency of about 15 to 20 bowel movements. And it's a closed system, it's very tidy, it's painless, it's safe, and very effective. We do natural protocols, okay? Before God made us, He had everything in place. He gave us this, the instructions to have a plant-based diet. Science is now proving that is the way to go. When there's a challenge, hey, lighten up on the animal protein or actually take it out of your diet and consume more plant-based. There's more healing, okay? It's more beneficial for the body. Also, we do other hydrotherapy protocols. We do something called fermentation. Sometimes persons are having issues with chest infections and a bad cough that wouldn't go away. And so we apply heat to the body, not burning, just enough to cause dilation, opening of blood vessels. When the blood is flowing more, healing takes place. So we do fermentation, we do something called a hydrotherapy foot treatment that helps to open blood vessels. Someone is having challenges with headaches, migraine, that helps with the elimination of pain. That helps with persons sleeping better. It helps with weight loss. It helps with building the immune system. A whole lot of benefits, okay? We also carry digestive care products. Sometimes persons need help with bumping up their fiber. So we carry flaxseed, we carry psyllium husk, we carry other natural laxatives that persons can use, cascada sagada, and things like that they can use to help with getting more bowel movements. We also encourage persons, and this is a big one, because we are an overweight/obese country to the tune of 70%, okay, based on the STEP survey that was done in 2019. And being overweight/obese is the biggest risk factor for all chronic ailments, the biggest risk factor. And so we empower persons about the importance of eating properly and also getting some physical activity in.
Some of the other services we offer are massage and the focus foot bath. The focus foot bath is a procedure that we use to remove toxins from the body via the pores of your feet. Well, you know, the skin is the largest organ of excretion, and so we use the feet to remove toxins from the body, heavy metals. How it's done, we have a copper tub We also put some salt in the water to help to increase the charge, and there is a device that is placed in the water which is called an exciter. It produces a small current and which the person will not feel, and so that charge helps to remove toxins by the process of ionization. Now, how the toxins are removed from the body is through the process which we know of osmosis. The molecules are pulled through the skin, and so that's how the heavy metals are removed from the body. Massage is very beneficial. When we manipulate the muscle, it helps to release toxins and also bring blood flow. So it is a dual process that goes on. What we do here is sweetest massage and also deep tissue massage. The sweetest massage is more relaxing and it helps the person to relax, and after they would feel a sense of euphoria, a better sense of well-being.
The advice and support offered by the Access Accelerator has been great for Nathelyn.
I think it's been about 6 years ago. I was able to get advice in terms of proper record keeping. You know, you open your business and it's just done in an ad hoc manner. And so they taught me how to properly balance my book, show what's happening so you can know if you made a profit or whatever. And also I was able to get funding from SBDC, where I was able to purchase some more equipment. The training that is ongoing, I continue to tap into that to help enhance the operation of my business. Definitely I would recommend other persons to access Accelerator, especially those who just have that thought, a business thought in mind. Just go to them, speak to them, and see how they can, better facilitate you taking this idea from your mind and making it come to fruition. I would definitely recommend it.
Wholistic Lifestyle is ready to help you on your health journey.
We are located on West Avenue, just across from the Centralville Primary School. It's in a 2-story building called Ruan House. And we're here to give you service. Those who are not ready to come in, just call us up. We'll give you a free consultation to see where you are and where is it that you would like to get, and see how we can help you on that journey.
For Bahamas at Sunrise, this is Suzette Parker.
In the Bahamas, small business is big business. More than 90% of the businesses in the Bahamas are classified as micro, small, or medium-sized enterprises, or MSMEs. The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center was created to serve them. We at the Access Accelerator offer a variety of services to our clients: business advisory services, training and entrepreneurial programming, mentorship and incubation, and advocacy.
Join the Click is an initiative started by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions last year when we were trying to figure out how to help business leaders as well as consumers to stay connected. Working with Canoe, working with other partners, working with the government and My Gateway to help them to connect with customers who want to place orders and want to be able to do things in a digital way.
My Gateway. My Gateway is a groundbreaking portal through which clients can request and pay for government services online. We have 28 services. We expect to increase the number of services to a minimum of 200.
I love that we're helping the government and helping our citizens to be more efficient and to use their time more wisely.
I invite you to sign up for mygateway.gov.bs and let us make government work for you. Join the Click.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Of course, we're at the halfway point on this fabulous Friday. We hope that you've been enjoying it as much as we have. And of course, we wanted to apologize. We got started a little late today due to some technical difficulties, but we trust that you've been enjoying the show so far. We trust that you have just been learning as much as we have about things, as much as toxins in the body, as well as the reasons for this royal visit. And not said by Mr. Thompson in our interview, but in a separate press release, we said this visit hopefully will be a reminder to the world that the Bahamas is open again, and that includes Abaco and Grand Bahama. And so I'm hopeful that that will come from that. In other exciting global news, it's really been an interesting time. If any of you have had the opportunity to see Kenaniji Brown Jackson, who of course is currently in hearings with the United States Senate about her approval to the Supreme Court of the United States. And just to watch this brilliant woman sit there with elegance and grace, and to continue to carry on that way, to see photos of her daughter, of course, looking on in admiration, and to see her welcomed into the arms of her loving husband at the end of it was just truly a beautiful moment. So if you've not seen it, you've not been able to read upon it, take some time to do so. It really is a pivotal moment in U.S. history, and of course, as our closest neighbor, always has implications for us, given that we study there, we travel there, and we've got such strong diplomatic ties. Well, in other news, we're going to be continuing on with a phenomenal show. Of course, March is Nutrition Month, and we want you all to really have the best in terms of understanding nutrition. We have been having some great conversations over the month about this, and we're continuing that today. We're actually got to have someone come and speak with us from Doctors Hospital, so we hope that you'll stay with us for that. And in addition, March is also Kidney Month, and they kind of fit hand in hand, right? Some people have renal failure for different reasons, but many people go into it as a result of poor diet. And so we're going to learn some more about the Kidney Center and the work that they do. And so that's going to happen as well. So we hope that you'll stay with us. Before we get into anything, we're going to take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Star, and good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather sunrise, we have a cool front across Grand Bahama and Abaco this morning, Bimini, moving towards the southeast, and that's got some increasing cloudiness, showers and thunderstorms. Some of those showers are heavy, some of those thunderstorms strong to severe. They should move into the province area by late morning, early afternoon as a free-frontal trough ahead of that system, and the front should continue to New Providence by late afternoon. In your marine forecast, winds today southwesterly at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet ahead of that front, shifting northwest to north at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet after that front passage. South to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the central and southeastern islands. On Saturday, those winds to northwest to north at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet in northwest and central Bahamas. Southwesterly at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the southeastern islands. Then on Sunday, those winds are northerly at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet early, but they should be increasing about 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet by late afternoon. Your tides. You can expect a low tide at 8:45 this morning. Next high tide will be at 2:34 this afternoon. Low again tonight at 8:43. Sunset will be at 7:22 this evening. Rises at 7:07. UV index 8, your water temperature 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and the moon phase last quarter. The external look, that cool front, like I said, moves to the province by afternoon and then in central Bahamas by tonight, and that brings both some cool temperatures and nice conditions behind that front. So for the most part over the weekend, partly sunny skies, mild temperatures. You'll expect a few showers tomorrow over the central southeastern islands and on Saturday over the southeastern islands in the vicinity of that front boundary. Though temperature daytime will be in the mid to upper 70s daytime, at nighttime in the low to mid 60s. That puts you up in your front look as well as sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. National Nutrition Month focuses attention on the importance of making informed food choices and developing sound eating and physical activity habits. And today, Yvette Strawn, licensed nutritionist and director of clinical nutrition and dietary services at Duchess Hospital, is here to help us prioritize nutrition. Ms. Strawn, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, Anastasia. Thank you for having me here.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you with us. And of course, we're going to be learning so much about nutrition. I guess the first thing I want to ask is why do you think nutrition stands out so significantly that it ought to have an entire month focus on it?
Well, it stands out significantly because it plays a vital role in our overall health, other than just taking medicine, other than
Yeah, I see why governments don't apologize for nothing, right? Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. Thank you so much, Godfrey. National Nutrition Month focuses attention on the importance of making informed food choices and developing sound eating and physical activity habits. And today, Yvette Strawn, licensed nutritionist and director of clinical nutrition and dietary services at Doctors Hospital, is here to help us prioritize nutrition. Ms. Strawn, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, Anastasia. Thank you for having me here.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you. This conversation is so important. We take, I guess, for granted that we just consume food. And for those who don't have the financial means very often to look at different foods, I think that even for those people, food might be different, right? And so this conversation about nutrition and why it's important is critical for all of us to understand that we got to focus on this thing. And it shouldn't just be that we pick up anything and put it into our mouths. So we're happy that you're here. And I guess the first question I want to know is, why is it important that we set aside time, specifically a month, for nutrition itself?
Well, nutrition is a vital component for our health, making sure that our body is well fed so that we have the energy to sustain our day, as well as overall promoting good health and preventing chronic diseases. So it's very important for us to celebrate a month of nutrition. And the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics every year, annually, has a month specifically focused on nutrition. And this year, just to ensure that we as consumers of food can make informed food choices and to develop healthy eating habits, as well as focus on our exercise habits and to just incorporate it into our lifestyles.
Okay, all right, very well said. And the theme for this year's Nutrition Month is Celebrate a World of Flavors. How can we explore cultural dishes and even, for example, native food and still be healthy?
Well, I was excited to learn about the theme of World of Flavors for this year's Nutrition Month, because as you know, we all can get caught up in eating the same thing over and over, especially Bahamians. The thing that we eat most is rice and chicken. So we can definitely look at new foods, introducing new foods into our diets and new flavors by starting with maybe a recipe online from a different country that you've not tried before. For example, we're in the Doctors Hospital right now. We're offering sushi. We're making our own sushi. And you can start a recipe and be surprised that local vendors do have the ingredients that will dictate that recipe from a different country. So pretty much start with the recipe. And if you're not really good at culinary skills, you can choose a restaurant. There are a lot of different restaurants out here locally in the Bahamas that you can just, try something different on the menu.
Yeah, no, that's very encouraging. I almost, if traffic wasn't going to be so bad today, I might have had to stop into Doctor's Hospital to look for some sushi, but alas,
we also have chicken grill, and I think that is from Haiti. So we're making chicken grill and cubano from Cuba today as well.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that sounds incredibly exciting. And it's so important that we introduce ourselves to new foods and expose our palates to new things, because we might be surprised what we like. Now, but let's talk about that though. Even as we explore new foods, whether we're stopping in to pick up food from someone else or creating it ourselves, when we lay that food out on a plate, what should that look like?
Well, your plate, you think about it like the rainbow. The rainbow is colorful, right? Mm-hmm. You want to make sure that your plate has a lot of vibrant and bright colors. So most fruits and vegetables would have vibrant and bright colors. So your plate should really start with looking at the rainbow. Is it colorful? And then you just draw your plate in a circle, and half of it should really be the vegetables, non-starchy vegetables. A quarter of it should be protein, lean protein such as fish, maybe some lean chicken or beef if you do, but we want to reduce some red meat. And then a quarter of the starchy vegetables or whole grains. That's where we're really overdoing it in terms of the Bahamian diet.
Yeah, and so that those things there that we should be reducing a bit. That would be like our favorite macaroni and cheese, maybe, and potato salad. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
And then we can actually, use the concept of the world of flavor to replace that quadrant of the of the plate with a different variety of maybe grains that, everyone is on quinoa and different things we can look into introduce in that specific area of their plate.
Okay. And then, we kind of mentioned it here, but what do we say about the average Bahamian diet? What sort of modifications can we make so that we are on occasion able to maybe enjoy cultural food, but that we're, for the most part, honoring our bodies a bit better?
Okay, well, let me first say that the sandwich method, like we've improved over a while. Let me give the good stuff. So we're now baking and we're now grilling and broiling our meats. And everybody has this famous air fryer, which
air fryer is nice.
The jury is out. So we're improving on that area. But some adjustments that we definitely can make, which we spoke about earlier, is the adjustment in the amount of carbohydrates we eat, and also the refined sugars, because the rice, again, really is consumed on half of the plate. So that's the biggest adjustment, of just maybe reducing the portion there, as well as limiting the amount of sodium with some of the seasoning, and utilize more herb-based seasons like garlic and thyme. And, if you have that farmer thumb, you can grow these herbs on your own as well.
Okay. Now, it's one thing for us to talk about this hair, but I know that many people actually are very challenged by any sort of change in diet. So much goes into it, even just from a mental perspective. But what happens, or when should someone realize that maybe I need professional help with this and seek out counsel from someone, maybe a doctor's hospital? And does your services at doctor's hospital, is that open to people who are outpatient? Can you kind of talk to us about maybe when clinical intervention is needed?
Oh, most definitely, Anastasia. So it really starts with how you feel. If you're realizing that your energy level is really decreased, other than just how you look, but it really starts with how you feel. And do you have enough energy and vibrance to complete your day? Are you not eating? If you look at your plate and you're saying, I can do better, or you're skipping meals, or your appetite may have decreased on the other end, or that you're over consuming certain things, maybe it's time to seek professional help and with a dietitian or a nutritionist. And some physicians can cue you in and giving you a referral to these services, where what we call medical nutrition therapy, which plays a vital role in patients' health to determine. We do a complete nutrition assessment at doctor's hospital, figure out what the problem is and where the problem is. Once the problem is identified, provide you with a structured and individualistic nutrition care plan or prescription so that it can meet your unique needs and give you, replace any nutrition deficiencies or overnutrition or undernutrition. We kind of correct that.
Okay, awesome. And, obviously the nutrition conversation has shifted, particularly since March of 2020 when the pandemic hit. There's still some people who are dealing with what they call long COVID, so effects that are lingering post their exposure to COVID and fighting through that disease. For you and for nutritionists generally, is there any advice that you would give them in order to continue to boost their immune system around nutrition?
Yes, good question. Yes. One, the advice that I would give is that you have to look at slowly refeeding the body. And it really starts with your protein base. With those who are experiencing long COVID, that has to do with a lot of muscle wasting. They may have lost a lot of weight, that they may have had a decrease in appetite. So start with some protein-rich foods, other than everybody knows vitamin D and vitamin C and the zinc right now. But we really need to cue in on the type of quality proteins that we're getting. And we can get some plant-based proteins from beans as well. So we start with that. And also, I will reflect back on the rainbow. So add a little bit more fruits and vegetables to your diet. And if you're having challenges with eating those, you can always blend them into a smoothie and also make the fruits and vegetables, the vegetables a part of a soup-based, maybe broth. And also you can get some nutrients like that, because with long COVID, your appetite is really the challenge, and we're trying to refeed you and nourish you. And of course, determine from a licensed nutritionist or dietitian whether or not a multivitamin and mineral supplement is necessary to correct any nutrient deficiencies that may have been the result of your COVID condition.
Yeah. Very well said. Well, it's been a real pleasure for me to speak with you this morning, Ms. Strachan, and to just learn some more about what we're consuming, what we put into our bodies, and why it's so important. So I'm trusting that this conversation was beneficial to all of our audience as well. And we thank you for joining us this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you for having me.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
The sports we play depend on the health we build. So let's stay healthy. Wear a mask and practice social distancing and hand washing to protect yourself and others. Remember, COVID-19 is not a game.
A public service message from the Bahamas Olympic Committee.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right, and in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Our world has changed. Many businesses have been closed for months with little or no access to their customers until now. Rev Media can help you remain connected to your customers. Our trusted customized advertising packages and personalized consultants will provide your business with immeasurable support during this challenging time. Your customers are already watching. Rev Media can help you to remain connected. Call us today. Let us help you.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. March is National Kidney Month, and we have been talking about chronic kidney disease and treatment options. Today, we are exploring the topic of kidney transplants, and here to talk with us about this topic is Dr. Rhea Thurston-Carroll. She's a nephrologist and a transplant specialist. Good morning, Dr. Carroll, and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed. Thank you so much for being here. So sometimes, obviously, kidney transplants are a difficult topic. So talk to us about what are the conditions that lead to somebody needing to have a kidney transplant?
So a kidney transplant is a treatment for a patient who has been diagnosed with end-stage kidney disease. And end-stage kidney disease is a chronic, progressive, irreversible form of, or irreversible kidney failure. The top two causes of end-stage kidney disease are diabetes and hypertension, uncontrolled diabetes and hypertension, which, as you may already know, is prevalent in the Bahamas and around the world. Other causes of why a kidney would fail would be something called glomerulonephritis, which is inflammation of the kidney that can happen secondary to certain infections or certain autoimmune diseases such as lupus. Other things that can cause the kidney to fail would be like autosomal polycystic kidney disease, which is a genetic disorder in which the kidneys grow these abnormal cysts that can eventually lead to kidney failure.
Okay, so we heard you use some different adjectives, and obviously for some persons that may be a cause of concern, especially when you talked about the different causes. But just how prevalent is the need for transplants in the Bahamas?
So we have a lot of patients in the Bahamas with end-stage kidney disease. I would estimate that we have at least 600 persons in the country on dialysis, which is a form of kidney replacement therapy. Whenever someone is diagnosed with end-stage kidney disease, you have two broad treatment options because neither is a cure. You can have dialysis or a transplant. So dialysis, the more prevalent form is hemodialysis, in-center hemodialysis, where a person would go to a center for several days a week for several hours at a time and get a treatment therapy, or the machine itself will take over what the kidney is supposed to do. Now, in our country, we don't have an active kidney transplant program. So for such patients who have been diagnosed with end-stage kidney disease and would like a transplant, the only option that we have available currently is to go to a tertiary center abroad and get transplanted. And sorry, go ahead.
No, so I just wanted you to explain that process, because what leads up to this whole process of getting a kidney transplant, especially seeing that you don't have that here locally?
So a transplant is a surgical procedure in which a kidney is removed from a person. So that person can be either dead or alive, so a deceased or a living donation. And then that kidney is placed inside of the individual whose kidneys have failed, and that new kidney will take over what the old kidneys are supposed to do. Now, in order for you to get a transplant, the person should be healthy enough to withstand the surgery and also healthy enough to take the anti-rejection medications that you will need for the kidney to be able to function properly and for your body to be tolerant of it. So let's say someone was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, end stage, and was looking to be transplanted. Then you would undergo what's called an evaluation process. And the evaluation process has several core components. We have the medical, the surgical, the immunologic, and the psychosocial. So with the medical aspect, you know, we would run various blood tests. We would check your heart, check your blood vessels, make sure that you're free from infection, free from any active cancer. With the psychosocial, we would want to make sure that the patient has good social support and that they're free from any substance of abuse.
Okay. When it comes to the success rate of transplants, what's that like for Bahamians generally?
So in general, if you get a kidney from a living or a deceased donor, more than 95% of the kidneys are functioning after 1 year, and more than 85% are functioning after 5 years. So it's very successful. On average, a kidney from a living donor lasts about 15 to 20 years, and for a deceased donor, somewhere between 12 and 15 years.
Okay. In terms of the person who is living with one kidney as a donor, what is life like for a donor after they would have made that donation?
So after donation, donors go on to continue to lead a healthy life. In order for you to be a donor, you have to be very healthy, because we certainly wouldn't want to take a kidney from someone who has any condition that may make them at risk for developing kidney failure later on. So whenever someone donates a kidney, the remaining kidney will over time compensate for the work that the kidney that was donated was doing. For donors, you know, there's no increased risk of death with donation. You know, it does not increase your risk of mortality. It does not increase your risk of developing kidney failure later on, which is what some people wonder. The only thing is there is a small risk of developing high blood pressure later on, so it's very important to continue to follow up with the physician, you know, as instructed.
And for the person that would have received the transplant, how does their life change in terms of diet, exercise? Are these things having to be very properly managed?
So for the dialysis patient, we advise them to follow what's called a renal diet. So that's foods that are low in potassium, low in phosphorus. We also regulate their fluid intake. After you are transplanted, you don't have, you know, such strong dietary restrictions. We do encourage a heart healthy diet, which is low sodium, low fat. So we do encourage regular exercise. We do discourage contact sports, so, you know, like football or boxing and that sort of thing, but we want you to still remain active.
Okay. So we have one last question, and that is, what can we do to prevent serious kidney disease? You know, how do we avoid needing dialysis, needing a transplant? What are some of the things Bahamians can do better to make sure they don't end up in a situation where those become necessary?
All right, so for patients who have been diagnosed with diabetes and high blood pressure, because these are the two most common causes, we always encourage you to take your medicines and take them as instructed by your physician, to exercise regularly, eat properly, to follow up with your doctor regularly, have regular blood tests. kidney disease is considered a silent disease in that most patients are asymptomatic until the kidney function is advanced, and that's usually when they present with symptoms, and sometimes it's often late. And so for those who do not have chronic medical illnesses, you know, it's still worthwhile at least annually or twice a year to follow up with a physician. You know, make sure you get your, just as you would get your cholesterol checked, you know, have your kidney function checked, you know, your urine checked to make sure that everything is okay. And that way, if there are any abnormalities detected, you know, we can intervene early on.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to Dr. Rhea Thurston-Carroll for joining us here on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I had a good time.
Absolutely. We'll be back right after this.
Well, that's going to do it for us, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Bahamas at Sunrise. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Just a reminder that many of the roads downtown will be closed today in honor of the royal visit. So make sure that you check your listings to figure out which roads those are and take alternative routes. We wish you a wonderful and successful weekend. We'll be back on Monday. Bye.